Good morning, 7th graders. Mr. Kensick here. I'm going to be talking about what e-learning is going to look like over the next couple of weeks. Kind of before I do that, just before we begin, maybe your parents have kind of talked about this, but this is certainly something that's unprecedented in my lifetime and in your parents' lifetime. Just with the state of things and needing to do distance learning like this, it's an adjustment. So some things may look a little bit different here, whether you have Mrs. Klein or myself, but hopefully we've made it a fairly easy process. I know you're going to have work in a lot of classes, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through what a typical e-learning day is going to look like. Yeah, so let's just kind of dive in. I'm on my Google Classroom page, and if you're watching from Mrs. Klein's class, hers is going to look somewhat similar. I've already kind of given, this is first period, but I've posted this in all my classes. You can see, if I kind of scroll down here, I've given a message to my students, so you can read that as you get a chance if you have me. But just as always, we post all of our work under the classwork tab. And if you have Mrs. Klein, she is scheduling hers to release by the day. So tomorrow, which will be March 25th, will be our first e-learning day. We're going to have one on the 25th and the 26th this week, and then typically after that, it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So there won't be any work that needs to be completed on a Monday and a Friday. Just that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be the typical schedule after this week, a little bit shorter this week. So Mrs. Klein has scheduled all of her posts to go the day of the assignment. Mine are all just there. I really don't encourage you to work ahead. Not all the stuff is in there where it needs to be right now. All of this has been here since the beginning of spring break. But I've got everything in lesson 1. So if I scroll down here, you can see a couple of things. I have just the notes. Could be good to look over. Here is the assignment. So if I click on that, it's going to open as a Google Doc, and you can see all the questions. You will need to use this. And you could do a couple of things with it. You could just open it up, work it on a separate sheet of paper. You could print it, work all the steps out. But really, you're not ever going to submit this to Mrs. Klein or myself. What we have designed are a series of Google Forms for every lesson. So if I open up this Google form, it has all of the same questions that were on the homework. But really, you can't just do it from the Google form because you need to see it kind of in the right context in the assignment. So that's why I kind of encourage you to open up the assignment, do it on a separate sheet of paper, and then you can just kind of transfer your answers over into the Google form. The thinking with this is that if you did it on paper, you'd either have to take a picture of it, and then I'm going to have 70 to 100 emails sent to me every single day, which would be a little bit frustrating and really hard to manage. And then trying to get you the feedback back to you would be difficult as well. So the Google form is going to give you your answers right away. My thinking is I'll probably grade like I typically do, and I think Mrs. Klein will do the same thing. There's probably some differences there. But once, you'll put in your first and last name. I'm not really going to type anything in here. And then you would get into the actual assignment. And you can see that it does mimic pretty well. You see, it's multiple choice, whereas the homework isn't, but that way you can get immediate feedback when you're finished. So this is the requirement that you submit this Google form. There's not anything with the Google Doc that needs to be submitted to us. And another critical component is videos. Now, I have made the videos for Mrs. Klein's class and myself. Mrs. Klein has made all the Google forms. So we've kind of teamed up to get those things done. But, if I open this, it's going to take you to YouTube. I think you can just play it directly here. And this is me recording, which is kind of weird. Now you're hearing me both over the same thing over the top of each other. So we don't need to watch this right now, but this is critical that you're watching these videos. Maybe you could get by just looking at the notes. Probability is not an extremely complicated list of tasks that you're going to do in this chapter, but still, it would be like if we gave you the assignment every day and you didn't ever really learn in class. You know how hard that can be. So I really do encourage, you can see this video is 9 minutes and 40 seconds. The second video that I made was like 7 minutes and something. So I'm trying to keep them fairly short. Obviously, you can pause it at any time if you need to. You can write down some things. You could even have the homework open at the same time that I'm kind of going through some of those examples. That would be okay as well. So this is really an important step. So I think this is more critical than just looking at the notes. I really would encourage you to open up the video, watch that in its entirety, and then begin looking at the assignment, get all of your answers recorded, and then submit the Google form. So that's really kind of how that's going to be. And every day is really going to be about that same progression. So this week, this will be Wednesday's work. And then Thursday's work will be lesson 2. And we will post a schedule like that. Lesson 1 and lesson 2 are going to be this week's stuff. And then lessons 3, 4, and 5 will be next week. So it's going to take us a little while to get through this just because we are only doing those e-learning days on a couple of the days. So that's really kind of what Google Classroom is going to look like. Those are the critical parts. If I click back here on lesson 7, you'll only see, like, I only have right now the notes and then the posted assignment. The Google form is not there and the video is not made yet. So as we move through, I'll be doing those things and kind of getting them in there. And Mrs. Klein, like I said, will schedule hers to release on the day that she wants you to work on those things. The other component that's going to exist out there for you is the ability, and sorry, I wanted to kind of take a look at this as well. I know Mrs. Klein and I are both going to host Zoom web conferences, and what that allows you to do, it really allows you to ask us questions. I know that can be really hard through email. So this will be a way that we can kind of meet face to face. Now, there is a little bit of a schedule that needs to happen with that. I think this week we probably won't do much of a schedule. But I will post a link in Google Classroom, and I already kind of played with this earlier and set one up. So if I went to the stream, I can start a post here. It'll look something like that. So we're going to use Zoom, and all you have to do is click on that link, and it should give you the ability to join the web conference. If you're not able to join during that time, I will record that, and I will post it in the lesson. So that if you have questions later on, you could just watch that. But it's really just a chance that you can ask questions to us, to me. So I'm going to host one for my class, and Mrs. Klein will host one for hers. I plan on doing like one of those per day. It probably won't be first thing in the morning. It probably would be more around sometime between like 11 and 1, just because I know everybody will be up by then and begin working. And really, I could have 70 students joining at the same time, but that's kind of why I wanted to go through a few just expectations with that. So we've kind of typed these up as a 7th grade class. I've already kind of talked about Google Classroom and most things being posted here. But when you're doing online learning like this, I've been a part of chats like this before, whether for my own learning or, the other teachers and I did one just the other day. It's really important that we're actively listening. It can be really tempting with video feeds like that to kind of have side conversations. I'm going to probably have the chat feature turned off so you can only chat with me if you need to ask me questions. But the other important component is that you'll need to mute yourself. So once you get in there, you should see an ability to mute. And as the moderator, I can kind of show you how that works. You can either choose to join with a camera or without. It really doesn't matter. It's always kind of nice to see each other's faces as we're having that conversation. But this is an extra thing. You may not need to use this at all if you feel like you've got a good handle on what we're doing without watching this or without joining and asking questions. That's totally fine. But it does exist. Like I said, once per day, we'll have something like that you can watch. So just don't distract each other. The moderator, which would be myself, does have the ability to mute you or close off your video, so that you cannot distract other people. So hopefully, this takes a lot of work to do these things, but we find them valuable. So make sure you're making good choices, and really use that time to ask questions. It said there's not any dumb questions. So just like in class, if you're thinking something, don't be afraid to ask it if it relates to the material. I don't see those web conferences going more than like 30 minutes, so it won't be a terribly long time, and I'd just like to keep that as timely as possible that we can get it done. If you need to get up and do something, my kids are upstairs right now, and sometimes they might kind of come down here and want to get in the way, but try to keep those things to a minimum. That's why we mute ourselves if we're not talking. If you need to get up and go to the bathroom or something like that, or have to get called away from your laptop, that's okay. Just try to do it in a non-distracting way to everybody else. So just a couple of things to consider as we are kind of working through a lot of this e-learning.